Hey, Zach, how you doing today? Let's see here. Why can't I hear? Sorry, second. I'm my can you hear me, Zach? Huh. I have no sound.
I can hear you, Dennis.
Okay, great, Chris. Thanks. My sound isn't working too well, apparently. But
oh, you know, I was muted. That was yep, there we go.
Oh, okay, good.
Problem wasn't on your end.
Yeah, well, I never know. This being out here on the farm, as Chris knows, is not always the best for internet connections.
No, I'm sitting in the middle of the field right now.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. I'll introduce everyone. We'll give a few minutes here for everyone to kind of gather. This is Johnny Tay is on with us, and Johnny is the Chief Technology Officer for Doorstep Market. So I'm very, very pleased to have him participating. And welcome, Johnny.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
It always makes me twitch a little bit when you introduce me as Chief Technology Officer, because it's the job that I never knew I didn't want because it's so difficult.
Yeah, it's funny. You know, we so often end up in roles that we never anticipated. Yeah. Right, yeah. Zach? Zach makes chocolate and runs oil drilling rigs.
Different worlds, different worlds.
Yeah, so, you know. Yeah. And Chris, who's on here, is on his tractor. He has 90 acres of butter beans or lima beans, as you may know. And Wayne,
Yeah.
who's on, is has a manufacturing company, makes pecan related products, all kinds of cool stuff like that.
Nice to meet you. Chris, it's nice to see the fields. We have a farm as well. My wife runs it. She's the farmer. It's called Ironwood Farm. Does certified organic vegetables and herbs and things like that. So
Oh, cool.
I've had many a call from tractors and farm settings. Hey, Louise.
Good deal, because I've given them a new experience this year because I've been in the tractor a lot.
Yeah, we think Chris has a future as a film documentary maker. Just The View from the Cab, it'll be called. And, you know, he'll just be driving around and show. And he drives really fast, too. I think he has a very fast tractor. I'm not sure, but seems to be the case.
6 miles an hour, Dennis. It ain't but 6 miles an hour.
Oh, my God. Well, that's faster than the one we have. The one we have, my wife's father bought new in 1948, and it still runs. John Deere, old John Deere, and I don't think it goes a mile an hour. I'm not sure how fast it goes. My lawnmower can smoke it, you know, so it's pretty funny. I'm not sure who main Zoom guest is. Can you tell me who you are, main Zoom guest? Is that
Can you not
Louise?
see me, Dennis? It's Louise.
Oh, okay, good. It had you listed as main Zoom
No,
guest.
I'm just writing to you saying I'm trying to change my name and I can't do it. So you can change it for me if you'd like.
I can. Okay, let me
We're
try.
gonna sort that out for you, Louise.
Okay, so
I'm
here we
like
go.
trying to go. Oh, hey, Johnny. I'm glad you're here.
Hey, welcome. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was too busy.
Oh.
I wasn't looking at the screen. I was looking at my name.
All right, I changed
There
you.
you go. Thank
So,
you.
fantastic. I'm going just another minute or two. Our crowd is a little late arriving, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending how you look at it. But I think about 10 or 11 people confirmed. I think we'll get started in just a second. Everybody meet Louise Newsom. Louise is a spirits distiller in upstate New York in the Hudson Valley. She makes a black walnut bourbon that is to die for, apparently. I hope someday to convince her to break the law and send me some. And she's also the director for Doorstep Market and helping new merchants get involved and get onto the platform. So she's the one I always call and ask stupid questions to. So that's she's a good person to know.
Thanks,
So
Dennis. Glad to be
yeah,
here.
yeah, glad to have you here. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and get started. And I'll try to remember to keep paying attention to the admit as people come along. So I'm so glad to have both Johnny and Louise here. So they please jump in, either one of you, if you see me kind of wandering around. But my goal here today is really to introduce the group to Doorstep Market. Now we have just finished a 10-week course, which was emphasis was on e-commerce, and we spent a lot of time on what we call omni-channel strategies, which is the idea of participating in different marketplaces, I guess, to reach more customers. And we've kind of talked about, of course, Amazon and Walmart and Target and a bunch of other ones as well. And I told the group toward the end that I was working with Doorstep and was hoping to be able to put something together where they would have the opportunity, in some cases, to participate. So what I'm going to start off with, unless anyone has a better idea, is I'm going to start off with just a look at the website, and we'll see if that works. So
I'm happy also to jump in, Dennis, and give a quick brief on what we're doing at Doorstep and
sure.
what we're about when you're ready.
Let me just real quick make sure they just get a rough introduction, and then Johnny, I think it'd be great for you to jump in. So this is the website. It's called doorstep.market. So it's not doorstep.com, it's doorstep.market. And it is primarily nationwide. It does have, it is divided into regions, which you can kind of see up here. If you see my cursor, Hudson River is north of New York City, the San Francisco Bay Area, New England, California Southland is what they call LA, kind of south, San Diego and so forth. And then South by Southeast is what I'm working on to build up. That's relatively new for Doorstep. And I've been singing the praises of everyone in North Carolina and how great we have it. So hopefully we can get some traction here.
And we have Southwest is about to come live in the next 2 weeks.
Fantastic. Well, I'm gonna hand it over to Johnny in a second, but I just want to make a couple of points just because I know everyone has in the back of their mind, what the hell am I looking at here? This program does not have any upfront cost to participate. So basically, you'll go through a process. You'll see up here, apply to be a maker. You'll fill out this form, and I can help you, or Louise will be able to help you in some cases, assuming this comes to life. There we go. So you basically are building kind of your own look and feel, if you will, or your own offer on Doorstep Market. So it could be different than your regular website or your retail store, or it could be one segment or one part, or it could be several over time. But it is a process where you don't have to pay up front. And we'll get into the economics of it, but I think that's an important thing to think about as you start with some of these marketplaces. You know, what's the price of poker, so to speak. So I did want to make sure that that we understood that point. So Johnny, why don't you jump in and I'll shut up.
Well, that would be. Thank you very much. It'd be
Yeah.
lovely to talk to you guys. Could I take screen share control too? Because I'll
You got
also
it.
do a quick little drive around
Yeah, I got it.
as I'm talking.
Hopefully you got the controls.
You co-hosted me. Yeah, great. Let me pull this up. Can you guys see my screen?
I cannot. Oh,
Could you
maybe because I'm sharing. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Let me stop sharing.
Yeah.
There we go.
You guys see Spring Essentials?
Yes.
Fresh and dewy. Okay, cool. So it's a real pleasure to meet everyone on this call. Quite frankly, this is why we do Doorstep Market, to meet makers, meet people out there that are driving small businesses forward in their local communities and doing rad stuff. I mean, it's where Louise comes from with Cooper's Daughter Distillery. It's where I come from, living in the Hudson Valley, next to Cooper's Daughter's Distillery, running our organic farm with our wife. We started Doorstep Market out of COVID because we were very concerned to see a lot of the small businesses that we've worked with through our publication magazine for a long time starting to struggle in supply chains, connecting consumers to the products that they love. And we legitimately started to get concerned about what was going to happen to the small business economy. We quickly learned that makers didn't need help, what business owners didn't need help. They were very adaptive, as I'm sure all you are, and very good at getting to market. But we did see that there was a gap in the marketplace of marketplaces for something that is hyper regional and very locally focused, and a marketplace that is curated. So, and that is exactly where Doorstep Market slots in. We pay a huge attention to the regions and the culture of regions, the terroir of the regions. And it's been a very specific and deliberate way of building a marketplace to build these different regions of the marketplace, giving sort of a lot of focus to what is coming out of those local places. Because we think, and we're seeing, that our shoppers and our consumers are super interested in the locality of where their products are coming from. At the same time, Doorstep Market was built with global scalability in mind. I've had a lot of marketplaces come across my desk as a technologist, and people saying, let's do this local marketplace for our local community. But it didn't have the ability to grow to a global audience. And that's where Doorstep Market and the vision that we brought to it was so that we can keep a hyper local focus, but grow it into a global sort of snowball and drive the amount of audience that's required in order to actually make sales on the site at a volume that is, effective for all the small businesses there. So how do we go global but keep it local, keep the cash going local? And this is our solution. So we are multi-region, and all you guys are in the South by Southeast market for us. We are multi-vendor marketplace. What does that mean? So that means that we allow our vendors to control the back end of their site. They control their profiles, they control their profile listings, they control their product listings, and they control their orders. So you guys, there is a maker portal where you access the back end of the site and you provide content and product listings. You essentially own your store on Doorstep Market. And that's super important for scalability from our purposes, but also giving you guys control. That said, we're here to help you. And we basically spend all day, every day, helping our makers build good profiles, SEO rich, search engine optimized, product listings, and help companies market themselves. Because if we all do better at marketing, then everyone does better as well. We're also, the third super important thing is we're curated. So Etsy does this really well, right? Like Etsy is 3 million vendors, doesn't really matter where you are in the world. They don't pay attention to like local origin much. And you can buy pretty much anything on Etsy these days. We're not that. We're a curated marketplace. So we allow in makers that are doing something special, driving small business in their local economy in some sort of unique, special way. And the products that they offer are of significant high quality. And we find that our shoppers are super interested in that. So we were super excited to partner with Dennis and hear about all the businesses that he's connected. Now we're meeting you and learning. I've seen a lot of your websites already, and it's super impressive what you guys are doing. So we're super excited about that. Very quickly about the website, I'll just show you a couple things. So this is our major landing page. Let's jump into Red's Best is a super good example. I want to show you a product listing, and I want to show you a maker profile, because that's kind of key. If you were to join Doorstep Market, you'd spend a lot of time building profiles and product listings. This is a product listing for raw bar special oyster clams. It's nice because they have multiple images. So, the amount of effort that you put into your product listing on our site has a dramatic impact in how well it performs in terms of sales. One kind of crummy picture and like one little line of description just isn't going to cut it to like, this is a marketplace, and we're a marketplace amongst other marketplaces. So we work really hard to drive the quality of product listings so everyone stands out on the marketplace.
Johnny, can I just take one quick second here, because I want to.
Yeah.
So from my perspective, I've talked a lot about, what's your story and explaining your brand story and connecting with people. What Johnny is talking about here is really kind of cool, because you have the ability with this opportunity to actually tell your story to a new audience. And this audience may bear no relationship to your current audience, whether it's your retail store or your website or anything else that you're doing. This is potentially nationwide, but particularly in areas that I think would be really interested in your products. Places like San Francisco, metropolitan New York, Boston. He mentioned the Southwest is coming online. So this is a way, really, I view it, the storytelling aspect of this marketplace was really the primary thing that attracted me to look into it further, because I've not seen this. When you go to Amazon, as some of you are already participating in Amazon, your product and your listing looks exactly the same as every other one. There's no real opportunity to tell your story. And that's true on Walmart.com and Target and some of the other ones we've talked about. So the thing I wanted to just reinforce, and I promise I'll shut up, is here is a chance to tell your story at a very low friction way, right? It doesn't cost you any money up front. but you are able to engage with potentially hundreds of thousands of new potential customers in a very authentic way that you are in control of. So I really like that. Okay, I'll shut up.
Yeah, you're totally right. And I want to go back to Red Best's profile, which I just showed you there. This is Red Best's profile page. We designed Doorstep Market to really tell the story and the narrative of your brand and business. And Red Best does a great job of that through these big banner images, some really nice kind of H2 headlines, a really good story, video. We have pull quotes and block quotes so we can kind of make you stand out that way. And then product listings. And then we have functionality for store policies and all that. We are all about content. We're a big merger of content and e-commerce. And so, and we are standing by ready to welcome you and basically help you deliver all of your photo and written content to provide to our audience. There's people these days, at least on our site, are super discerning about who they buy from and when. And we built a platform that really allows that story of yours to sing. So we'd really welcome that on the site. The final thing I'll say is we also have a bunch of, let me bring one up. We do a lot with our blog content. Let's bring up Hudson River. Let's bring up the blog content for, sorry, it's wrong. Search for a maker here. This is Ironwood Farm. Disclaimer, this is our farm. So this is a blog content connected to a profile. And this is a story that was written in an edible magazine about the farm. And in this story, this is super important for SEO. So this, is out there on the web collecting a bunch of audience through organic search. At the same time, it drives the reader to product listings themselves where they can go and shop the vendor's products, and it drives to collections. We are content hungry. If you have a story about yourself or you want to write one, you are welcome to give it to us and we will work with you to bring it onto the site. And that story will be permanently linked against your products and really drive that kind of content experience with the e-commerce experience. So our shoppers are kind of flicking between the two a lot and buying depending on what they write. I'm going to stop talking. The last thing I want to say is that we have I'm going to stop the screen share. We have an incredible marketing team that's really starting to ramp up their activity. And we have really good merchandising person. So if you put the effort into, for free at no cost, putting a great profile up with great listings, and you work with us in that way, we can then take that work and push it into our marketing and merchandising machine. We can present you to our audiences in other ways, which you'd never really get access to if, through your own web stores. And we'll really help you kind of sell your products out there. So if you take that first step with us, we're ready to go, running promotions, featuring you on social, partnering with you on social, driving traffic to your social channels, featuring you on email blasts and and also we do paid advertising on Facebook advertising. So it's very likely that if someone hits our site, looks at your product, we will serve an ad to them on your behalf as well. So all that's kind of activity is ongoing. Please, Louise.
No, I think it'd be great to show everybody because the teams work so hard on creating a knowledge base, and we've added in video right now, which is a really great way of just sort of answering questions as you're kind of going through building your profile. So I was wondering, John, if you wanted to show a little of that.
Yeah, that's a really good. So to apply to Doorstep Market is the apply button up in the top, apply to be a maker. That's how you get started. Down at the very bottom of every page, we have a maker sign-in link This is how you sign into the maker portal. We also have a selling on Doorstep Market page, which is going to be very useful for you to see, the pieces, what it means to sell on Doorstep Market. It also has a cost piece and tells you about the 15% commission rate and how it's free to be on the site. So you only pay when you make sales. We use business PayPal as our payment processor. And then we have a self-guided support section. And this is our, in the makers page here, there is a bunch of information here, help articles about how you sort of manage orders, how you build a profile, and there are videos in there. For example, connecting your business PayPal account. We have a whole video here which walks you through step by step how to do that, explaining the maker portal and how to do it. We also have a great customer service team, so you can support a ticket at any time via our website. And I'll show you down here in customer care. We're very responsive and working with makers all the time. So ultimately, to get started, you're in the top here, apply to be a maker, and there'll be links everywhere to everything we send you to get you into the help center and to our customer support.
And I'm also available to help everybody with this and talk about it. And if you need some help on figuring out pictures and stuff like that, I'm happy to help as much as I can.
Any questions? I just spoke for a long time, I feel like.
Zach, I know you have questions, and Joe does, and I already know.
Yeah, I'm curious. How big are these marketplaces? And I know you're continuing to grow your other areas as well. And what kind of, I don't know, I guess growth trajectory are you guys having right now?
That's a great question. And it's good to set expectations too, because Doorstep Market is a new company. We launched this platform in November of last year. So we currently have circa 500 vendors on board. We have the regions that you've seen. That's growing every week. Makers are joining and self-actuating all the time. And we have sales running through the platform, and it's moving. Our vision for where we want to go is we want a region for the entire US, and then eventually we want to go global. There's no reason why we can't do Bangkok Doorstep Market or South Asia Doorstep Market, Madagascar Doorstep Market,
London
Doorstep Market. I'd love that. So we see this growing to we see the audience growing. That said, we're not on a trajectory to be Etsy or Amazon, where any vendor anywhere can just onboard and start selling. This is a curated marketplace, and it always will be. And that's sort of core to the business fundamentals, because to amplify the voice of local and small business, we have to do that. And that's really important to us. Our sale volume right now is okay. It's not where we want to be. We want to see more sales happening, and we are working every day to drive conversions. Don't expect to join and for the first day to start selling immediately. That's just not the way it's happening in our growth. But what we find is makers that engage with us in building fantastic profiles and product listings and engage in the merchandising of it, like offering promotions. If you have a standing 10% discount on your products with us, we drive that in our marketing machine, and those are the makers that start selling. If you just list and put a little bit of effort into it and then lean back, it's just not as effective. So we're here to help that.
Hey, Johnny, could you talk a little bit about farms and what you guys are doing with CSAs and some of that kind of stuff?
Yeah, totally. So we really welcome farms on the site to sell sort of their products and what they want to do. We have a vision for Doorstep Market, which is a food hub concept, where we can really start to rethink the way that local food gets to local customers, kind of disrupting, the industrial food system. But we have a mission for that. We're not quite there yet, so we don't have farmers listing heads of broccoli. We're not there yet, but we might go there in the future. What we are doing is CSA aggregation, and we have a big program right now that's sort of in development, where we can accept CSA products on the site. We already have some, and we're going to be growing that significantly. We think that Doorstep Market could be it would be the only and the premier aggregator of CSAs across the United States, and allow those CSAs to be transacted on. There are lots of websites that aggregate CSAs and say, here are all the farms and the links to those farms. There are no websites that actually enable the sale of CSA shares to customers. And we're doing that today on Doorstep Market. We're ready to accept CSA products, and we see a big future of that for us.
Okay.
I have one more question. And your point about having a more curated marketplace rather than just be a big giant thing, I think it's great. In terms of just nuts and bolts of shipping, and customers' expectations. I mean, Amazon has kind of got everybody used to just turning it around right now, and it's at your door the next day, which is a little tough for little guys. But I'm assuming, most of your customers would expect, like the next day, like an order comes in, the next day it gets shipped, and maybe 2-day shipping or something like that.
Yeah, so that's a really good question. And in building Doorstep Market, let me say, it was a real headache real challenge to understand the complexity of shipping needs across customers and the diversity of different vendors that are coming. Some people ship next day, some people don't. Some people ship FedEx, UPS. There's like 1,000 different combinations that could be done. We've attempted to build something that's super flexible. So however you need to ship and set your shipping up, maybe it's a perishable good that has to ship overnight. Maybe it's a custom made product that can only ship 2 weeks after the sale is made. We have all that functionality embedded in terms of the delivery of the order, and also from the customer's perspective. And let me give you a little example of the customer's perspective on that. Let me find a product. Let's try this one. I haven't seen this product. So there is a usually ships in value. So every product that you list, the vendor, can determine when it usually ships in. So if you ship it 1 day, 3 days, 7 days, every 2 weeks, you want to ship it in a month, you can do that and tell the customer that that's the case, and set customer expectations. We do ask that you meet those expectations. So if you set 3 day and the order doesn't ship, man, we hear from the customer, and then we'll come to you and be like, hey, what's up? What's this budget up to you? But we're friendly. We just want to see it all succeed. So we work a lot with the customer base and educating them specifically around shipping. I mean, Amazon, has distorted our view of what we can get when we can get it. And we're in that stream, and we're working to educate customers. They pay for shipping, and they have to have reasonable expectations. That said, I'm gonna play devil's advocate. Free shipping is a huge conversion driver. If you can offer it, if you can bake it into your prices in some way and list it as free shipping, customers love that. There's nothing that stops a conversion journey more than, a $16 shipping charge on a $9 item.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so if you come to us and you're like, we want to do free shipping, help us set it up, we're right there with you. Like, we'll help you with your pricing. We'll help you set the back end up so that it works. If you want to run free shipping on a coupon code, we can do that. All these kind of things available.
Thank you.
Hey, Jonathan, this is Joe here. A couple questions for you. One is, do you have any items or I guess categories that you're not looking for? I mean, you were very clear on what you're looking for, and just to help bring clarity, is there anything that you're not looking to list?
That's a cool question.
I assume it's all food. So that's the first.
It's not, no, it's definitely not all food. Let me give you a little demo of like our breadth. Again, when designing Doorstep Market, thinking about local economy, local businesses, different to Etsy, different to Food 52, which have these specific product niches. We're about local marketplace, and we know that local marketplace has a huge offering of products and services, and so we do that. We have food and drink, we have kitchen goods, home and living, clothing, health and wellness, experiences, and stays. So if you guys offer experiential products, Zoom classes, cooking classes, tours, fishing tours, any kind of experience, we can list those, and those have been pretty cool and popular.
Yeah, I should make a point
and-
about that, Jonathan. A lot of the folks, and maybe not everyone that's here, they will be watching the video, but a lot of them are into, around here they call it agritourism, and the idea that particularly different times of the year, they will make a big effort to get people to come to the farm or their area and participate in some kind of experience. So that's actually a big part of my thinking, and why
Yeah.
I was very impressed with the fact that you all have thought that through, and you do provide the opportunity. So it's not just selling a product, it's also selling experience, selling tours, combining. I've talked to the class about partnering up with others to kind of combine and do an experience. So there's a lot of potential for that whole category. Even a food person partnering with an artist, or somebody who's doing some kind of specialty item that's not a food. Perfect to partner with that kind of person, because the goal of this, from my perspective, is to build your customer list, build your audience, build the potential people who can do business with you. And so once you see the way this platform works, you'll see that you're able to do things that maybe would be difficult to do on your own website in some cases, but you could do it here.
Let me give you an example of that, and I'm going to make this example up. But this Siloey Maple, who's actually sold very well on the site recently. People love sugar products. You know, they got a great story. The way that they would fire their maple is super interesting. And what's cool about this is right on. They've got a product listing with products, and then they've got, you know, this is not high quality, right? But in a way, it's charming because it tells the story of the product and the way it's made. And this is a super important thing when you're making product listings. Like, don't just show the product, show who you are, and show the product being made and all the things that are special about it. Our customers love that. You could have 20 images on it, and it'd be awesome. From an experiential product, you know, Siloey Maple can sell just the maple syrup. They could also sell, as a second product listing, the maple syrup along with a hour-long FaceTime tour of the farm, or because it's like virtual, or come to the farm and visit. And in that regard, you've got a virtual product, a tour, and we'll ship you some maple syrup combined into one. So there are physical products, there are purely virtual products, and then there are like packages of virtual and physical products. And we see that happen a lot, like a cooking class. Like, I have a pizza kit, and I'll sell you the pizza kit, and I'll also do a 2-hour pizza making class with you. And it's those types of creative combinations that are, you know, they're very effective, and we're seeing them, you know, our customers really kind of engage with that.
Yeah.
It's more effort, it's difficult, it's a creative process. You got to package it together, you know, you have to weigh that. But in creating a loyal customer following, those types of, at least just listing those types of experiential products can kind of really impress customers.
And I have a couple other questions here related to your marketing efforts. I assume it's mainly B2C, or are you also targeting B2B when it comes to wholesale supply of maybe mom and pop local storefronts that may want to feature some of these products? So this is mainly D2C drop ship model as opposed to a B2B model?
Great question. And it's a question with vision, which is cool. We currently are B2C only, but we do see in the future a B2B extension for Doorstep Market, because when we've aggregated, when a lot of makers have come together with a lot of products, there's no reason why we couldn't open up a B2B marketplace. And we've even had discussions like, how cool would it be if we could create a B2B bidding system? So you put a lot of 200 jars of maple syrup on Doorstep Market, and businesses can bid on that. So we're having conversations about that currently with B2C only, but there is huge potential for the B2B plan.
You may or may not have heard of these two, because they're one is particularly new, another is, I don't know if they're new or not, so everyone else can kind of plug their ears real quick. I'm not trying to drop in another competitor name, but
I probably know them already.
Good Trends.
Yeah.
So Good Trends just reached out to me this last week, and they're more of that B2B model, and so I didn't know if you knew about them. To kind of, maybe you can, as you're trying to build that out, learn from them, but you already know about them. And then Supplied is another one that's been out there. So
yeah. And I'll also throw another one in there, fair.com.
Yeah, of course. That's the big gorilla in the room. So yeah.
Big gorilla. Yeah.
And so when on your marketing, you're obviously regionally structured. So when you tout the marketing support that you provide with paid ads to Doorstep, is the marketing therefore also regionally focused, so that your ads, so if like us being South by Southwest, when you run those paid ads, is it going to a South by Southwest audience, or is it going national, or like how does that sort of work?
Yeah, we've evolved actually and learned a lot about this ourselves. Right now, the majority of the marketing happens at the national level.
Yeah.
And the reason is when we can aggregate and create more effective marketing programs at that national level. We aggregate the audience, it's a bigger audience, and we push that, push marketing programs on that audience. That said, there is a lot of local nuance to our marketing, and we're telling maker stories. So we're always zooming in on the place, the person, the story, the brand. So it always has a local feel to it. Our paid advertising is adapting all the time as well. So right now we're targeting geolocations where the markets are. That might change depending on its effectiveness. I mean, we're driving for conversions now. So we're always learning and adapting. I'll say that we did start with the idea that each region would be marketing very, very locally. Like South by Southeast would have its own Instagram channel and its own Facebook, and be very, very adaptive. But there's an issue with scalability and effectiveness there. Yeah. Like running, as you know, I'm sure you're running one social channel is a nightmare. Imagine running 20.
Yeah, sure.
And then splittering the audience. So we're finding that aggregating at the national level and speaking with our local curatorial voice through that marketing and the brand of that is more effective.
No, I totally agree with all that. I think one reason why I was bringing it up is if your marketing is nationally focused and you're not geofencing on a regional basis, therefore these makers like myself and the others here on the call have to be able to support distribution on a national scale, to some extent through a drop ship model, or shipping themselves, because obviously they could be getting orders from California even though they're making in North Carolina, right? So for instance, Zach with chocolates, he's got to be, he may get an order from Washington State and he's got to figure out how to get it there, right? Or he's got to decline the order, which doesn't make you look good, doesn't make Zach look good. So you kind of have to figure that out, right?
That's a really good point, and I should have said that earlier. We are a dropship model, and our audience could come from anywhere. It could come from London. Like my mum might buy something from you, So we have some enablement on that international shipping aside. Like we can turn that off if you can't do that. But we would expect most makers like to ship nationally. Why would you not want to sell your chocolate bar to Washington if they're willing to pay for it and the freight, the shipping to get it there? we find that our audience comes from all over the United States. Our customers are buying from cross regions all the time. If you have a product that doesn't work for, we work with that too. So alcohol is a great example. Louise can't ship outside of New York, which is very sad for all the other states that aren't in New York. And we have limitations and shipping controls to make that happen. We're also working with customer expectation on that. So if Louise can't ship to Tennessee, how does that person in Tennessee know that before they attempt to buy and trip the checkout? We don't want to see canceled orders because the customer doesn't expect it. Like if we're selling it, they expect it to get to them. And we don't want it for the makers either. I mean, it's rubbish to cancel orders, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, one thing I'll offer, and Zach, we haven't had a chance to connect on this, and Dennis knows this, and some of the other folks on the call. I'm very passionate about the drop ship model. It's in part of the story of my brand, Booze Dogs, and how we've grown. Where I've probably been, to my fault, I've probably neglected the front end marketing side of things more than I should have, and pay attention more to the back end scalability of drop shipping. And so there's been an incredible amount of research done nationwide. I mean, 15 to 20 different providers, and finding the right one for based on cost, based on food types and stuff that they can ship. And I think I finally landed on the right one, and going through that transition in the next 60 days. All that backstory to say is I'm very passionate about trying to help food makers specifically find the most cost-effective, scalable way to dropship nationwide. So I would love to offer that intel to you guys, and Zach as well, anyone else who may help find these food makers who are saying, I make a great quality product, I'm partnering with a great marketplace like Doorstep. The problem is in between those 2 points. How do I get that distribution out where it's not cost prohibitive, right? And I think I found that unicorn, and so I would be glad to share that with you sometime early summer with you guys. So
yeah, I'd love to hear about that. We're faced with that same dilemma too, and we're looking for ways to enable our makers on that. We've had a lot of depthy conversations with some strategic partners that could help distribution networks and those sorts of things. I would love to hear more about that. We're in that business every day, so
yeah,
sounds
great.
cool.
Yeah, same, Joe. Thank you.
Yeah.
I just, last week I just sent a box of truffles, full of cold stuff down to Texas, and it cost me $21.60. And then the week before I sent the same box to Tennessee, and it cost me $10.65. But I charge $9 for flat rate shipping. It's like, well, hell.
Yeah.
We do all our fulfillment here, but it's it's figuring out scaling and continuing to dial that in and be excellent, especially in the warmer months.
We'll figure it out. We got Joe on our team, so we don't have to worry.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat too. We do, maple glazed pecans and that kind of stuff, but we do have some chocolate stuff. So I've been meaning to reach out to you, Zach, to kind of figure out maybe how you ship stuff, because I'm running into that same problem.
I just had I'm not sure if it's a brilliant or a terrible idea yet, but those damn ice packs, they usually cost you about $1 a piece. What's a lot cheaper than that? It's still about 16 ounces. Is just a water bottle, just a drinking water bottle. And I haven't had any break in the mail yet. Obviously, that won't if it happens. But
so you're filling the water bottle and freezing it?
Yeah, and they
Can you
cost
brand it?
No, just fresh from the grocery store.
No, you need to brand it and then offer a drink that with your chocolate, you get a drink of this, and then find a complimentary drink. So it's almost like a value add for nothing.
Johnny and Louise, welcome to my world.
That's a great idea. And we can help enable that in the end. You attach on a pricing for the shipping and handling, and it's an Algene bottle or whatever with your branding on it. It's super cool.
Now, the silver bullet would be if booze could freeze, Louise could get outside of this New York limitation by not selling booze, but by selling frozen packs in quotes. It's
Yeah.
actually a shipping enablement tool versus a
Louise,
bottle.
plug your ears, Louise. Don't listen.
I
No,
think
you know what? I always look for the loophole. It's
Yeah,
perfect.
these guys are gonna get you in trouble, I promise you.
your eyes would set that up, wouldn't it? I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, guys, I'm gonna see if anyone has any more questions, and I'm gonna get an email out to everybody with all these links and stuff, and help you get on the marketplace, because I wanna see some opportunity for our region, and I think this is a good place to start. So, are there any other questions or concerns, thoughts at this point?
Just one comment, and that is, John Louise, I'm in. I'll be reaching out to you guys soon. So thank you.
Great.
All right.
thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. It'll probably be later this summer for myself. Just got too much on my plate right now, but looking forward to getting into it.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
same
right.
here. I look forward to getting into it.
All right. Thanks.
Cool.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it. And
Great.
we have some other folks on the call as well that aren't in the class, but we had the head of the North Carolina Farm Extension, Becky Bowen, was participating, and so she represents all the farmers in the state and all of the marketplaces, farmers markets and all that kind of thing. So I think we'll see a lot of interest from this effort today. So I really appreciate you guys coming on.
Right.
All right.
Thank you so much. Really great to be invited into your local community, and anything you need, any questions, we're here. Dennis will share our emails and such.
Yeah.
And when you're ready to jump in, I'm ready to rock and roll.
All right.
Thanks.
Thanks,
Thank you, Dennis.
everybody. Talk to you all later.